What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be installing a wide body kit on this bad boy right behind me. So this car right here is a 2018 Subaru WRX. It is not the STI, but what the customer has done to this car is pretty awesome. So one of the first things you'll notice is it's got a nice carbon fiber APR performance wing on it. It's a little bit dirty right now, but we'll make sure we get it washed. Moving along, this car has already been lowered on some coilovers, and it's got some different wheels on it from factory. You know, it sits pretty good right now. The customer brought this vehicle to us to do a wide body kit install, and he's also going to be putting some bigger rims on it. Now moving on to the inside is where things get interesting. So there's a Cobb tuner. If you guys are familiar with Subis, then you're gonna know exactly what that is. That right there is a tune. And the customer told me right before he brought it here, actually, he got it dyno tuned, and the dyno put out 370 horsepower. So this thing, it's pretty freaking quick. So one of the other really cool things about this car, if you guys take a look at this remote right here, I'm gonna point it towards the headliner. Go ahead and turn it on. Check that out. It's got the starry headliner on it, from like a Rolls Royce or something like that. The customer told me he installed this himself, and it took him from like Thursday to Sunday to do it. So it took a long time, but the results are definitely worth it. That looks awesome. So like I was mentioning, this is a customer's vehicle. He brought this car to us and asked us if we could install the wide body kit on it. And I said we've never done it before, but I think we're experienced enough to try to figure it out. It can't be that hard. So we're gonna try to make it into one video. And by the end of this video, this car is gonna be this much wider. It's gonna be painted, and it's gonna look really awesome. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. All right, so quick update, guys. It is now the end of the day, and this side is fully mounted up. You can see we got all our rivets in there, all along the door. So we start off by cutting the quarter panel in up to the existing lip that was there. and we put waterproof sealant around the entire lip of where the open metal was, making sure that it won't rust in the future or anything like that. And so the gaps are looking really good. We had to trim this down, sand it down and smooth it out to make the gap match up. So this was the easy side. The other side required a lot more sanding down to get all the gaps to line up. But as you can see here, everything's looking good on the door. Opens and closes good. We also had to build a custom bracket. You can see that's what's vice gripped on there right now. To hold the end of this, you can see that one rivet, because this was flopping around a lot. And if that was to go on the highway in the wind or something like that, that could just rip right off. So we didn't want that to happen. This side is super solid, so I don't think we need to put one there. Anyways, the door is so far away from it that it would be really hard to try to build a bracket at an angle. So on this side, it's almost mounted up as well fully. We got most of the holes drilled out. We put only a couple of rivets and a few spaces because this thing is going to come back off to get painted. But as you can see here, this side we had to sand all this down all the way along, as well as this side. So this one took a lot more effort. And this is the Angry Acorn wide body kit, if I didn't mention that. So I mean, the quality, it's not the best out there. I mean, it's great for a budget. And so I just wanted to point out some few imperfections. So when we received it, there's like a chunk missing off right there. And like we said, for the alignment, we had to do a lot of sanding. So the gaps, the overall finish is good, but the overall quality of the install, it's, you know, it requires a little bit of work, but it's looking great. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna move on to the fenders, get those fenders mounted up over there, as well as this side. We're gonna get those fenders mounted up, everything cut out, and then we can take them back off and have it ready for paint. So we'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning.
Why you had to do it, 10 kilos?
So at this point, the fender is completely mounted up, and now as you can see, we're sanding down the lip of the fender flare. We actually did this to all four sides. When the fenders came in, they were a little bit wavy, so we went ahead and sanded them all down, made them all smooth, just so that way it looks a little bit nicer and cleaner. So an interesting thing about this front wide body piece is that it's actually a two-part piece. So there's one piece that goes on the bumper and one piece that goes on the fender that wraps around the headlight. The area where these two meet, there's a lip on the inside. So we joined these two together to try to get as tight of a gap as possible. Now we start sanding down all the pieces. First we sanded them down with the DA. And then we went ahead and actually put some putty on the places that it needed. For example, when I showed you that little hole it came with earlier, we had to put some putty on there and fill that hole up. And there were some other spots where there's some deep scratches, and if we were to paint over that, you would see that in the paint. So we had to smooth everything out to make sure we get a nice glass finish. So we went ahead and pulled all the pieces into the paint booth, and we are now primering them. We put about 3 coats of primer on there just to make sure that when we sand it down, we have enough space to work with and we can really get a nice smooth finish. Now as you can see, he's block sanding the pieces that we just primered and getting it ready for paint pretty much. So now the painter is wax and grease removing all the pieces. So the color we are painting is red, and as you can see here right now, the first coat we put was clear. So this is actually a plastic adhesion promoter. So pretty much what that'll do is if there's any kind of rock chips, it'll prevent it from chipping very easily.
Why you had to do it to him, Kilo?
Alrighty guys, so before I wanted to end off this video, I just wanted to show you some of the final touches that we did before we permanently mounted on the fenders and afterwards as well. One of the first things is on the rear fenders, the custom bracket that we had to make. Now that custom bracket right there, we actually went ahead and painted both sides for that, so that way it just looks a little bit cleaner. One of the other things we also did is we actually had to use a larger rivet on this side corner because it was too far away for it to reach. The rivet came in a silver color, so we actually ended up taping it off and painting it black so it can match the rest of the vehicle. And then one of the last things that we did is actually, since this was a fiberglass, it left a lot of scratches from when we were test fitting, especially on this side because we didn't tape it off before we did it. The rest of the sides we realized that, hey, we should tape this stuff off because it's leaving too many scratches. But even when we did tape it off, it still left a lot of scratches, so we actually went ahead and sanded and buffed all those out, and so now it's looking real clean. Just to make sure that any of the scratches that we cause, we buff them out. And then there was one very large one about right there, so we actually just went ahead and did it for the customer as well. So yeah, that's it for this video. So that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We got this car pulled in, got the wide body kit on, and it is 100% ready to go. As you guys saw in the cinematic shots, it is looking absolutely amazing. It's ready to go to its new owner now for him to put on some nice bigger wheels on it. And this thing is gonna be looking very unique. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure you smash that like button and leave your thoughts down below in the comment section on how you think this wide body turned out. I'll see you guys on the next one.